So you may have heard of people telling you that you should always save money. And I've even done videos telling you how you can save that money. But have you sat down and actually asked yourself why you should be saving money? Not really. I just got told saving money was the right thing to do. Well, to be honest, in my personal opinion, I think that a big reason as to why people struggle to save money is because they have no idea what they're saving for or why they should be saving money in the first place. So in this video, I'm going to be outlining some key reasons as to why you should be saving your money. So hopefully if there's a time where maybe you don't feel as motivated to save money, you can come back to this video and understand why you need to do it. So the first reason why I think you really need to be saving money is because it does help you to live within your means. Now, the reason why this is so important is because you will see that the majority of people are actually living above their means. Now, when I'm talking about this, I mean that you have a high proportion of people that even though they may be getting a consistent income and they're able to actually cover the basics, so whether that includes food or housing, but really when I'm talking about living above your needs, I'm talking about the people that actually then go beyond that. So this is really where overspending comes into play. So you see people having those luxury holidays, they're buying cars and houses that they can't afford, and what's worse is that they can even be taking on debt to go and finance that lifestyle. Now, a lot of you will know that I will never ever tell you that you should not spend your money, but what the problem is here is that if you're not actually able to save your money and you're then living above your means rather than living within your means, that can be a problem because you may be living paycheck to paycheck your whole life, and what that means is that you will then end up having so many different expenses, which will mean that the level of income you need has to then cover all of those expenses regardless. So I've got £5 left until next payday. Yeah, it's gonna be a long 5 days. So if there was a time where maybe you lost your job or you just didn't have enough income, you would still have those expenses that you need to pay for. So you could land yourself in trouble, and that's very much linked to you possibly finding yourself in the rat race. So if you don't know what that means and you maybe want to find out a bit more, I have already done a video outlining that in a bit more detail, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. I will of course link that up here for you and in the description below. But if you find that you're able to save your money consistently, so whether that be 2% or 5% or 10%, you're essentially going to realize that you're able to live within your means because you at least have some savings and you're not spending your whole paycheck. And what that essentially means is that you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. So again, when it comes to savings, you're actually able to live within your means, which is always a good thing. The second reason why I think you should be saving money is because I actually think this really does set a great foundation when it just comes to personal finance in general. Now, the reason why I say this is because when you start thinking about things like paying off debt or even investing, you will realize that saving is actually a core foundation when it comes to those two areas. So for example, in my case, I wasn't actually able to pay off my debt consistently until I learned how to actually save money so that I can pay off my debt. So until I learned how to actually pay myself first, put money in my savings, actually build like a mini emergency fund, and then put some of those savings towards paying off my debt, I wasn't able to do that until I actually built that habit of saving. So that's really why I do think that saving can be really important and essential when it comes to your personal finances, because that will then link to some of the other financial goals that you might be working towards. Right, I get it. So if I save my money first, I can use that money to then overpay on my debt. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. It's also a foundation when you're thinking about some of your short-term and long-term money goals as well. So for example, if you're thinking anything short-term, like maybe saving up for a house or a car, then you probably want to build those habits of actually being able to save money well with that. But then also when it comes to your long-term goals as well, that's equally going to be important. Now, if you do find yourself struggling to save money or even thinking about what you should be saving up for first, or maybe what you should be prioritizing, then feel free to fill out my Master Your Money assessment survey, which I will link in the description below and also in the comments below as well, because with that, I'm offering up to 5 people a 30-minute call to really just go through what their money goals are and actually figure out what they should be prioritizing when it comes to their savings goals. So definitely check that out if you think that might be useful for you. Again, that will be linked in the description below for you and also in the comment section as well. But essentially, whenever you're thinking about personal finance or the core foundations you should be building, then saving money should be a really big part of that. And if you're liking this video so far, then feel free to give me a thumbs up, as it really does help to support the channel, plus it's free. So the third reason why I think you should be saving money is because it does allow you to take more calculated risk when it comes to actually growing your money. Now, the reason why I say this is because saving money can actually be very useful when it comes to things like investing or actually starting your own business. So when it comes to investing, you need to be able to actually save that money first so that you can then invest that money and make that money work for you. So whether that's maybe investing through the stock market or maybe you want to invest through real estate, whatever it is, if you build the foundation of actually saving that money, that then allows you to take a proportion of your savings to then actually grow that money and make that money work for you. Likewise, if you're interested in maybe starting a side hustle or maybe a business or some sort, you probably will need some money to at least start it. So essentially, it will make it a bit easier if you do already have savings so that you can then put it towards building up your business. Yeah, I've decided to start my new side hustle. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, don't worry, I've saved like £500 pounds for it. I'm ready. So for me personally, I do think being able to actually save money has been absolutely essential, because it's then had an easier transition when it then comes to things like investing my money and also building a business as well. And particularly the reason why I say this point is because, guys, saving money is only going to get you so far. Now, yes, again, saving is very, very important, and I'm always going to say I do think it's a core foundation when it comes to personal finances. But what I really want you to understand is there are going to be certain things that you should be saving for, but then also investing as well. So I do actually have a detailed video that talks about that in a bit more detail, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. I will of course link that up here for you and in the description below. So the next reason why I think you should be saving money is because saving money can actually help you with greater financial security. Now, this is so important when it comes to things like having an emergency fund, because when you actually have a cushion of savings, first of all, I think it's a lot easier for you to sleep at night, because you know that if anything was to happen, maybe if you lost your job, or even if you just had an expense like maybe your car broke down or your roof collapsed, you know that you have some money in your savings that you can essentially use to pay that off without actually having to go into debt. So having savings can be really important when it comes to things like actually building up your emergency fund. And personally for me, a lot of you guys will know that having an emergency fund or granny's rainy day fund, whatever you want to call it, it's so critical to have those savings, because you have no idea what's going to be happening in the future. Okay, so the boiler just broke down. Great. Well, it's a good thing I have a 6-month emergency fund, because now it's an inconvenience rather than a total disaster. So you really want to protect yourself, and being able to actually save up for that emergency fund is going to be really useful. So if you are looking to build up your emergency fund and you're not really sure how or how much you need, definitely check out my video where I talk about that in a bit more detail. I will of course make sure that's linked in the description below for you. But essentially, again, saving money will allow you to actually build that foundation so that you can start putting money towards your emergency fund, of course, for any emergencies. So the fifth reason why I think you really need to be saving money is because it allows you to actually plan for fun without having to go into debt. Now for me, again, this is a huge one, because I always say when it comes to personal finances, it's not about you just spending no money at all and just hibernating at home. No, a lot of it is to do with actually being able to plan your expenses and know what you want to do when it comes to your money. So the reason why saving money is actually so important is because you're still able to enjoy your life and fund your lifestyle, but you're doing it from your own money rather than using debt to go and pay for it, where you know you're going to have consequences, because you know you're going to have to pay for that later on in the future, and a lot of the times you're going to have added interest on that as well. Guys, we just have to go to Mauritius. It's on sale for £2,500. I can't afford that right now. So just use your credit card. You can pay it off in like 5 years. So rather than going into credit card debt of around £3,000 or $3,000 because you want to go on holiday, if you're able to actually save up that £3,000 or $3,000 for your holiday, you'll then be able to go on holiday knowing that everything is paid for. And so when you come back from that holiday, you realize that you've actually been able to enjoy it, and you don't even have any of those interest payments that you're going to have to start making if you were to then take out that credit card debt. So realizing that actually just by saving money, you're still able to enjoy that lifestyle is a huge thing for me. And it just means that you're still able to do what you want to do, but with no strings attached. So the sixth reason why I think it's important to save money is because this can actually set you up when it comes to things like financial independence and retirement. And again, the reason why this is so important, guys, is because you'll be surprised at the amount of people that do not have enough savings when it comes to their retirement. And so they're going to have to depend on the government to essentially fund their retirement. Yeah, but I want to live for today. I've got years before retirement. Now, again, I assume that if you're watching this video, then you probably don't want to be one of those people. So that's really why it's important for you to start learning about how you can then start saving your money, because once you've then built that foundation, you are then able to take that money to invest it for financial independence and for your retirement as well, so that by the time you actually do end up retiring, whether that's retiring early or just at the normal age, you essentially know that you have enough money to actually last your whole lifetime without having to worry about either depending on the government or going into debt, or just maybe living a life that you don't really want to live just because you haven't saved enough for retirement. Yeah, I mean, I probably should start putting money aside for my future self, because the earlier you're able to start developing that saving habit, the better, because then that will enable you to really start investing your money to then help you reach financial independence or even just retirement in general. And essentially what that means is that for your future, you're then able to live your life on your terms, because you know you have enough money to last you a lifetime. So if you ever plan on becoming financially independent or even just retiring one day, then you should really start learning how to save money now. Okay, Auntie B, you've sold me. I'm officially gonna save more money. So if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, why else do you think it's important to save money? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then of course you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.